Christmas is a magical time. It's a mystical time. The lights and the decorations, the excitement, the expectancy. There's a strange, almost magical feeling about this season. We're all anticipating something, aren't we? The celebration is fun, but the purpose of Christmas is to experience something deep and mystical. The purpose of Christmas is to awaken that something within us that is both awe-inspiring and compelling in its splendor. By concentrating on the birth of Jesus, we enter into a consciousness that allows for the Christ awakening within ourselves. And what is the Christ? What is the Christ? It's the very essence of God that dwells within each of us, that is always expressing through us. When we think of the first Christmas, we think of the hush, the silence, the wonder, and the love. So today we lit the candle of love. We let our minds reflect on that holy night so long ago. I invite you during your prayer time from now until Christmas to just spend some quiet time just thinking about the story, thinking about the hush, the beauty of the night, the bright stars, the angels singing. Just let your mind imagine. Think about what it would feel like. What was the weather like? Feel the hush. There is something that happens around Christmas time with that hush that always touches my heart. Every time we do a candle lighting service, I get in touch with that hush. It's a holy hush. And I invite you to think about that for the next week or so. Get in touch with the idea that as we light the candle of love, it symbolizes God's love for us. God's love for us never diminishes. It never ends, never ceases, and it is always freely given. So this Christmas, as all Christmases are, Christmas is a journey of the heart, a journey of love. As you came in today, you were given a piece written by Emmett Fox. And I think it is the most wonderful piece that has ever been written about love. Love. There is no difficulty that enough love will not conquer, no disease that enough love will not heal, no door that enough love will not open, no gulf that enough love will not bridge, no wall that enough love will not throw down, no sin that enough love will not redeem. It makes no difference how deeply seated may be the trouble, how hopeless the outlook, how muddled the tangle, how great the mistake. A sufficient realization of love will dissolve it all. If only you could love enough, you would be the happiest and the most powerful being in the world. Love. And every time we celebrate Christmas, we We light a candle of the Advent, and we remember this deeper understanding of love. I believe that the greatest gift for us is God's unconditional love. I believe that that great love is embedded within our very DNA. We can't help ourselves. Divine love was placed within us. Our very DNA has love surging through it at all times. Too often we forget this. Too often the truth that God loves us is, too often it's more of a concept than an experience. Remember, we are here to experience God. We're here to experience God. We're here to experience God in this magnificent life right now. That's why we're here, to experience God to a greater and greater degree. Now, we verbalize the concept, that concept that God loves us. However, do we feel it? Do we feel it in our hearts? Do we feel God loving us? The experience of feeling loved by God can absolutely transform our lives. Transform our lives that we can look and not even recognize who we are once we feel God's love. You all know who Maya Angelou is, and she was being interviewed at one point in time and was talking about her background. And she literally, at one point in her life, had hit bottom and was living a life of total despair. She couldn't go any further. And she didn't know which way to turn. The interviewer asked her if there was an event that helped her overcome the challenges that she faced. And she said yes. That the first time she actually felt God loving her was a transforming event. Apparently one day, when things were not going well at all, she decided to sit down and just quietly affirm over and over and over again, 100 times, maybe even more than 100 times, God loves me. God loves me. God loves me. God loves me. Over and over and over again, she affirmed that affirmation, God loves me. And she affirmed it until she truly felt herself being loved by God. You and I can do the same thing. We can sit quietly for just a few moments and continue to affirm over and over and over again this very vital truth: God loves me. What I know is that God loves us and God cares for us, and He's there for us every single moment of the day. God loves me. God's love for us is the real gift. It's the real gift of Christmas. It is a real present. And that is a present that we can open anew with each passing day. It was Christmas time. And as usual, George Mason was the last to leave the office. He walked over to the massive safe that stood right outside his office. He spun the dials and swung the heavy door open. Making sure that the door would not close behind him, he stepped inside.